Hi there! Thank you so much for joining me today. This is Julie DiMatteo with thepaperpixie.com, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the US. And in this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make this super cute little accordion gift box. And in this example, it says, "Will you be my bridesmaid?" There's so many cool things you could do with this box. You could say, "Will you be my Valentine? Will you marry me?" You could extend this accordion and include pictures of your child for every year from kindergarten through 12th grade. There's just so many really cool ideas. So let me show you how easy it is to make this, and let's get started. First, I want to talk about the paper that we're going to use. We've got one piece of Night of Navy, and that measures 1.5 inches by 10.5 inches. Then we have a piece of crumb cake that measures 4.25 by 4.25. And then we have another piece of crumb cake that measures 8 1/8 by 8 1/8. Starting with the simply scored, we're going to start with the 8 1/8 by 8 1/8 piece. This is going to be our box base, and we're going to score this on all 4 sides at 1 5/8 and 3 1/4. So 1 5/8, 3 1/4. And I'm just going to continue to rotate and repeat the same score lines on all 4 sides. And you're going to end up with a grid that looks like this. Next, with the 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 piece, this is going to be our box lid, and we're going to score this on all 4 sides at 5/8 and 1 1/4. And again, I'm just going to continue to rotate and repeat the same measurements on all 4 sides. And that's what that piece will look like. I'll show you templates in a few moments. And then with our 1.5 inch by 10.5 inch piece, we're going to score this at every 1.5 inches. But as I score it, I'm going to continue to flip the paper so that the score line is on opposite sides for each 1.5 inch score line. So we're going to do 1.5, and I'm going to flip it and do 3, 4.5, 6, 7.5, and 9. So you'll see that score lines every 1/2 inch, but we flip-flop the sides. Now what you could have done was just score at 1.5, 4.5, and 7.5, then flip it and score it at 3, 6, and 9, okay? So we're going to start with the box base, and the first thing I want you to do is to fold and burnish on all the score lines. Okay, now that that's complete, let me show you a quick template. We're going to start to create the tabs of this box, but you'll notice that the tabs all point in different directions. Typically with a box, you'd have the 2 tabs pointing this direction and pointing this direction. But because each of these squares are equal, and we're going to have a lot of paper overlapping, it's much easier to have your tabs all pointing in a different direction so that we don't have a lot of layers of paper on each side of the box. Now this is going to be a double reinforced box, so it'll be much stronger. And let me show you how to do the cutting. So what I like to do is to cut up these 2 vertical lines, cut up those, stopping at the second horizontal score line. And that seems to be the easiest way for me to remember. So I'll cut up those vertical score lines. So the 2 in from the right. And then what we're going to do is remove the 3 outer squares. And what I like to do is just go ahead and cut off these 2. And then this one, leaving behind a tab here. And because this is a tab, what we want to do is go ahead and notch in those sides. So that's what it looks like in one corner. Now what I'm going to do is to rotate my cardstock counterclockwise, and we're going to repeat the same thing in the same corner. So cut up the 2 vertical score lines, then remove these 2 squares and this square, and then notch in the tab. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to fast forward through this as I do it, and I'll show you once it's finished. The final thing we need to do is to make sure that we notch in these outside squares. Those are going to be the ones that are going to fold into the box. And by notching those, that's just going to ensure that they'll have a nice fit on the inside. Okay, so the cutting of the base is complete. Now it's time to put that together. And I'm just going to start and pick a tab, and we'll start gluing this together. So I'll start with this tab here, and what we're going to do is basically put adhesive on the tab. I'm going to meet up this score line with this cut edge, like so, to start to form our box base. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and we'll do that on all 4 tabs. Okay, now all we have to do is go ahead and put adhesive on each of these tabs and fold them into the box. And once I fold them into the box, what I'll do is I'll bring in my bone folder and just press that into place. I hope that you can see that on the camera. I'm just pressing that into place, and I'll repeat that in all 3 remaining tabs. All right, there is our box base. It's a very sturdy base. I'm pinching on it here, and I love the strength of this box. So let's go ahead and do the lid. First, you're going to fold and burnish on all the score lines. Okay, and we're going to cut this one in the same pattern. So again, cutting up the 2 vertical score lines from the right, stopping at the 2nd horizontal score line, removing these 3 outside squares, and then creating the tab. And then we'll rotate counterclockwise, do the same thing, and then just keep going around the box till we have all of those tabs cut out. Okay, that's complete. I also notched in these little outside sections as well, similar to how we did the box base. So now what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and glue these tabs onto the inside to start forming our box lid, and we'll do that on all 4 tabs. Okay, and then finally we will glue in each of these sides into the box and then reinforce with our bone folder. Okay, so there's our finished box lid. That should fit nicely over the box base. Super cute. So now let's go ahead and bring in the accordion piece. And in case you can't see those score lines, here is what the template looks like. And I'm just going to basically accordion fold on those score lines. And because we alternated the sides of the cardstock that we scored, there's a very nice uniform fold there. So then I'm just going to go ahead and take my bone folder and just reinforce those folds. And now we have a piece that looks like this. Now there are 7 different panels, and one of your panels, which is going to be this panel, it's the one with the mountain fold. This piece is going to glue into the lid of the box. And then our valley fold here, see that's a valley, that one's going to glue into the base of the box. So you can start with whichever one you want. I'll just go ahead with the base first, and again, that's the one with the valley fold. We're going to put glue on this side of the paper. And I forgot to mention, what you'll want to do is to decorate your panels before you glue this into the box. Obviously that will make it easier. I do just want to take a quick break to explain. So with this one, I actually cut out these squares using our layering squares framelits. They're about 1 3/16 of an inch in size. You could certainly cut either 1 1/4 inch or 1 3/8 inch squares. And I've decorated this with our labeler alphabet stamp set and spelled out the words, "Will you be my bridesmaid?" What I love about this stamp set is you can make any word that you want, and there's multiples of letters as well. And so you'd want to decorate that first before you go ahead and glue it in the box. But for purposes of this video, I just wanted to show you how this goes together, and then you can use your imagination to come up with some great ideas for this box. And then I'm just going to go ahead and put glue on this top section. And again, this was the mountain fold. And this side of the paper is where we're putting the glue. And we're going to go ahead and glue that inside the lid. With the liquid glue, you'll have some wiggle room, so you can get that right where you want it. And the really cool thing about this box is it's deep enough that you could cut multiple panels of this accordion and glue them, kind of daisy chain them together. You could have a really long message or series of photos that would fit into this box. So it's a super cute idea. I was perusing Pinterest and saw a lot of ideas for, asking someone to be your bridesmaid, and I thought I could figure it out with Stampin' Up! Products. So I love how it turned out. It is a pretty cool box, so I fell in love with it. I had to try to figure it out with Stampin' Up! Products, and I love the end results. I'd love to see your creations if you decide to give this box a try. I'd just love to see your creativity and what you come up with what you add to the accordion in here. So if you could just hashtag your photos on social media with Paper Pixie, so hashtag Paper Pixie, I'll be sure to go check those out. You can always email me your creations. I love to see what you guys make with my tutorials. It's the biggest form of flattery. Totally makes my day. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe and click the little bell so you get notified every time I have a new video tutorial. If you're interested in purchasing any of the Stampin' Up! Products that I used on this project, they'll be included in the description. I'd love to have you come visit me at thepaperpixie.com, where I post projects every weekday to inspire you. And I have options to subscribe to both my daily blog updates as well as my monthly newsletter, and I'd love to welcome you as a new subscriber. You can shop with me anytime at thepaperpixie.com/shop. And if you're interested in earning a discount on all of your Stampin' Up! Purchases, I'd love to have you join my team of Paper Pixies, and you can purchase the starter kit at thepaperpixie.com/join. Thanks again for watching. I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day. Take care. Bye.